with your dramatic first look at Michael Jackson's film, This Is It. Now, the film's not going to hit theaters until next Wednesday, but today, Showbiz Tonight got a hold of some brand new scenes from the movie, which shows Jackson rehearsing for his London concert series just days before he died. Check out Michael performing The Way You Make Me Feel. You know, it is hard to get away from the idea when you see him move around on stage and hearing his voice and watching him perform, set against the backdrop of the fact that he died just days later. I mean, Jane, that is pretty remarkable, isn't it?
It is actually mind-boggling. We've heard so much about his illness, him being emaciated, him suffering from insomnia. Well, if you've got all that going on, it's very hard to do a spin and land perfectly on both feet, and you see him doing precisely that. It's especially astounding because I covered his criminal trial in 2005. He was often in the hospital. When he walked into court, he had somebody on either elbow almost carrying him in and out. We've seen pictures of him in a wheelchair. So this is absolutely the polar opposite, and it just reminds me that it's always hard to tell what's fiction and what's fact when it comes to Michael Jackson. It's always a case of smoke and mirrors, and we always wondered, is that falsetto voice really his voice? Does he talk like a regular guy when nobody's watching? You never know exactly what's going on.
That a lot of people are going to go out to see the movie because they're curious. They want to see what kind of shape Michael was in before he died. Now, obviously, it's no surprise that filmmakers wanted to show Jackson on his game, at his strongest. So, Gene, at least based on the footage that we're seeing here, I think it's easy to suggest that Michael probably could have pulled off 50 concerts.
That's right. And I think what they were saying, the 50 concerts weren't going to be one after the other. There's going to be a little bit of time span. But when I look at this, and it's going to be released next week in whole as the movie, I think about the criminal investigation that's taking place right now. The death was ruled a homicide, death at the hands of another. We don't know if any charges will come. Jury pool out there that will look at him appearingly very fit, striding up and down the stage, and rehearsals are
That's a really good point. And a lot of people through all of this have been questioning the timing of the film's release. It was put into production pretty quickly after he died. Well, Showbiz Tonight sat down today with the film's director. Kenny Ortega is that guy, and he spoke with us about how it felt putting this movie together so soon after Jackson's death. You got to watch what he says.
I thought, I'll collapse. I'll never get through it. You know, it's just too hard, too soon. But in fact, it was healing and helpful. I think in this film, it's that kind of experience. Michael is very present, very much alive, very much in the moment. And you feel that, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with the world.
He says it was healing. He says it was helpful. A lot of people are saying releasing the film just 4 months after Michael's death, just plain tacky and greedy. I got to get your take on this. What do you think? Bad timing, or was it just the right move?
You know, I think it's the right move, AJ, and I think it's going to bring some closure to all of his fans out there. You take a look at these clips and you see that it really honors Michael Jackson as a talented performer. I don't think it's tacky at all. And you watch it, he still looks crisp, as Jane and Gene said. He's still hitting those moves, and it's smart business. They need to capitalize now. They don't need to wait until the interest isn't as high. I don't think that's greedy because it's not really exploiting him. It seems to be honoring him.
And the film is selling out everywhere. Jane, you think it's more about the true fans wanting to see? There's a lot of morbid curiosity out there.
I think it's a combination of both, AJ. There's a lot of ardent fans who want to forget all about Michael Jackson's troubles and simply enjoy and relish his music. But then there's a whole other set of people who are absolutely obsessed with all the troubles of the criminal trial where he was acquitted, of the talk of drug addiction, and they have that morbid curiosity. So I basically think it's going to be a big hit because everybody's going to want to see it for different reasons.
Yeah, and of course it's in this limited run. I'm certain it will be out as a master DVD set before too long. Somebody who obviously suffered a great deal through the whole ordeal. Michael smiling like that. Gene, off to you. Great to see her with a smile on her face, especially when you consider the ugly legal mess still going on over Jackson's estate.
That's right. It is full proof in court. You know, I think it's so wonderful they did the tribute. I think it's even more wonderful that she went, and I'm sure she was touched. I'm sure it was so emotional for her.
There's her precious son, whom she lost, and he's there in seemingly alive, full of life, but yet he is not here with us.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, boy was talented. I can't take nothing away from that. But who gets addicted to surgery? And, I mean, come on. The guy was a freak. And the little boys here and there, a little boy here, a little boy there. I mean, whatever. I just don't understand. Everybody's trying to deny the fact that he was a freakazoid and had all kinds of mental problems. But he did grow up, like, ridiculously fast. And he's already famous by the age of 10. So, with operations, come on.